We are live.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Frank here for the Baker Show, gentlemen, and we are here for our podcast of the day. Um, we're gonna bring on Cynn Coburn in just a minute. We're having a little bit of issue with the audio, so she's on a little bit of a delay. So if you guys hear that, just try to bear with it. But we were trying to fix that in the sound room, but we're just gonna have to deal with a little bit of audio delay.
It's just a little, guys. So hopefully you can still hear everything. Let us know in the comments if we have to speak up a little bit. I don't mind shouting at you if I have to, as long as you can hear me. But yeah, welcome to the second third of the week, the podcast episode. I'm really happy to have one of our first podcast guests that we're actually streaming in. Now that we have that, met her on Instagram of all places. Saw she does some really incredible stuff, and I wanted her to talk about that and kind of ask her some questions on it. So I'm really excited right now. Frankie, can you go ahead and he's going to do some sharing?
I'm doing some sharing as we speak.
I just want to put this out there, guys, before I forget. This month, we are still doing the fundraiser for Standard Middle School's formal dance. Get those gentlemen some gentlemanly clothing. If you'd like to donate, the Venmo and Cash App links will be in the comments below. We're just trying to raise $200.
Yeah.
And me and Frankie will match the first $100 donated. So we're going to be there like that with your guys' help. I can already tell.
Yeah.
So don't worry if you can't do it right this second. You have until the end of the month. Those things are super fast, so it's not like there's a super delay on those or anything.
Right.
Today I started without you guys. I'm having the Jasmine Crawl Tyrannical Buck Broadleaf, which has been amazing.
Frank, I have spoken the Tabernacle Havana Seed number 142.
Nice.
I want to say a special thanks to Hack from Ridgecrest. He's actually the one that got this for me, so thank you very much for that.
Nice. Thank you, Hack. All right. And then, Des, what are you smoking? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. And then I have a backup cigar. Don't worry. I'm not only smoking that. I got myself Last Cowboy Connecticut, which, not quite as much of a punch as the Maduro, but still some good stuff. I like it a lot.
Right.
And then before we get into this too far, is there anything you wanted to announce or anything we got to cover? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Like you said, we're going to talk to Cynn Coburn, and then after that, we're going to talk a little bit of TP news.
All right, a little bit of TP. All right, sounds good to me. All right, then, Cynn, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Boom, perfect. There we go. How are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Great. I'm really glad you could do this. I really do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I actually had some room in my schedule. It's been hectic lately, so.
Yeah, from just the description I read on Instagram, it seems like you're doing so much, and there's a lot of it I want to talk to you about because it all sounds really fascinating. But before we go too far in, do you want to just kind of introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yep. I'm Cynn Coburn. Some of you may know me in the cigar world. I obviously do a lot with that, travel a lot for that with my husband, Joshua Coburn. He's a known motivational speaker. We now do it together, author and whatnot. And then on the other side of that, I'm a mom. I have kids. I do a lot in the motivational speaking world. We're trying to somewhat mesh the two together with the cigars and the motivational stuff. We're seeing how that goes. So far, we've had a really good response. That's me in a very small nutshell.
That's pretty awesome. I gotta say, that's the first thing I want to talk to you about, the motivational speaking.
Yeah.
I first saw you with your cigars and the awesome look, and it all came together. And I'm like, man, I really got to have her on the show. So you and your husband do motivational speaking together. Is that when you say you tie it in with the cigars, what does that entail usually?
Well, so he's been doing motivational speaking for about 16 years. I've recently gotten into it in the past 5, 6, 7 months, something like that. And it's just been a slow process because he's done it for so long that he has it down pat. So he knows exactly what he's doing. He's done the same thing for years. So it's kind of like one of those things where we have to tweak it to include me into it because my story is deep as well. I've gone through a lot, but you only have like a certain amount of time. So we have to like I said, we just have to kind of tweak it. So yeah, doing that, we do mostly schools. We do some corporations as well. We were just down in Missouri, and that was for a high school. And what I mean by blending the two is we've always loved cigars. We've just been quiet about it. and people didn't realize that we've always loved cigars. And so at first, when we started being public about it, we kind of got a little bit of backlash, but that's died down, and people, are true fans and followers. They follow us because they love what we do. They, we're not doing anything wrong, and we speak so highly of the cigar world because one of the things that we actually talk about any chance we can get is how the cigar world is. And, when you walk into a cigar lounge, how the people are, how everyone's so willing to talk, and, everything that you learn, it ends up being like a networking thing, and you always meet amazing people and you get great friends out of it. And, cigar lounges are one of those places where, different than a sports lounge, if you're in a sports lounge or a bar, you're staring at a TV the whole time, you're cheering on some kind of team. And in the cigar world, when you go into a cigar lounge, everyone's talking to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what race you are, what religion you are. People are going to talk to you and they want to learn about you. So we've kind of taken that aspect and we've kind of tried to blend that in with what we do anyway. So I don't know if you saw that we do the Kick All the Ash events. I don't know if that's something that you've seen that we've been posting about.
Yeah, I would like to get some more info on that. Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, so we're trying to incorporate the motivational speaking into the cigar world. So that's our next major move, is to be able to do some kind of one-on-one life coaching in cigar lounges, hold that Kick All the Ash event, and see where that goes. We do have a couple scheduled coming up already, so I'm excited to kind of blend the two together. It's working better than we expected. So
that's really awesome. And obviously, it costs money to do this, so it is a paid thing, right? You have to pay to go to the speeches. So is it nice to be able to do something that, obviously it seems like you guys really love it and can, support yourself on that. I think a lot of people should go after that kind of stuff. Do you have any advice for somebody who wants to do something that, you kind of created your own job, like there's nobody really blending motivational and cigars at the same time.
Right.
What kind of advice would you give someone trying to start out with that kind of stuff?
With cigars or with you're breaking up, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, just kind of going after something that you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be cigar related, but just your passion.
Just do it. If we listened to all the people that told us not to do something, we'd be nowhere. If you've seen Josh, obviously you guys know I'm pretty heavily tattooed. Josh obviously is. He has his head tattooed just like I do. He's covered head to toe. And so many people, even in his high school years when he started getting tattoos, have criticized him for that and told him he's never going to get anywhere. I hope you don't have kids, this and that, like all these terrible things. And if he listened to these people, he'd probably be dead. And same with me. Because neither of us fit in that mold. We don't fit in this box of what society says is normal and what you should do. And what a lot of people don't realize is, we hold normal jobs. I've had normal jobs prior to this. And obviously we've gotten somewhere with the way we look. So it doesn't matter what you're going for. You can do it. If you believe you can do it, you're going to do it. That's all there is to it. Josh works for a major corporation and he's killing it. He's been working there for 20 years, the way he looks, Yeah. So you can truly do anything. It's in here. You have to believe that you can. Don't let hurdles stop you. They're hurdles. They're just tools that you can throw in your bag and keep going. So
I like that very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Real quick, just want to say hi to Kay Berry watching on YouTube. I don't know if we asked you what is it that you're smoking?
This is the Superfly. I don't know if you can.
Oh, Oscar Vallarta's Superfly.
Oh my gosh. So,
yeah, that was one of my most anticipated cigars when we went out to IPCPR last year, and I love that cigar. I think it's a fantastic cigar. It's something about it. I think what it was. It was the band that drew me into that cigar. I just dug the purple. I dug the way it looked, and that was one cigar from IPCPR that I was really excited about.
Yeah. I saw it all over the internet, and I'm like, man, what is this thing? And we happened to be at another cigar lounge down in the Detroit area, just meeting the owners and stuff. And I finally saw it, and I was like, I have got to have this thing. And I am so surprised at how good it is. It is one of the smoothest cigars I've ever had. It does have a touch of pepper, and normally I'm not a pepper fan, but this one is like so tolerable. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of Plasencia. I always have been. It doesn't matter what kind of Plasencia you give me. It's a good cigar, and this one's up there. Like they're doing great things. So, it's a favorite.
Oh, yeah, of course, definitely. And then I like that you said maybe not a big fan of pepper, but when you find it in something that you do enjoy, I think that's a really cool thing about cigars. Like, you might not be a big fan of like a nutty flavor, but then you find one in a cigar that works.
Yeah.
That always surprises me. I think that's kind of one of the reasons I got into cigars. Do you remember when you got into cigars? Like, what first got you to that?
Oh man, it was a number of years ago when I started really like experimenting with them, but I didn't know much about them. And this is actually something we talked about on other podcasts that ended up being great. So many people responded to it. Was that people tend to get scared to walk into those cigar lounges. They feel intimidated by it. And that was one thing that I was dealing with. So I'm like, I don't know enough about cigars. I don't want to look like an idiot when I walk into a cigar lounge. So whatever, I guess I'm just going to do this if I ever get my hands on a cigar. And so that's what I did. Or I from a couple of years ago, I'd run into a event where I was back in school to buy a cigar. And that's how I started learning. And then got into it really heavily, obviously, with Josh. And, it's just it progressed from there. I know more now, but it's always a learning experience. I can always learn more. We've looked into taking the tobacconist classes because not only is it beneficial for other people if you want to learn, but we just want to learn. No matter what we do, we want to learn, all the ins and outs of cigars besides the fact that we think they taste amazing. So.
Oh, absolutely true. I mean, there's so many cigars. There's so much to learn.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how long it would be before you can learn it all. I don't know how they have the master blenders, what they have to do. It's decades of knowledge that's going into that.
Yeah, I mean, they get pretty crazy with the flavors, and they're like, "Oh, do you taste this? And do you taste that?" I'm like, "No, I don't taste chocolate or whatever you're saying. Like, I'm not to that level yet. I don't think."
And as long as you like it, it's all that really matters, I think.
Right. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And I'm learning that I've had kind of this weird attitude towards cigars for the longest time, to where I've kind of associated peppery with cheaper cigars. And I don't know if that is necessarily the case, because obviously with the Superfly, like I said, it has a peppery flavor. It's by far not a low-end cigar. It's up there in price, and it's smooth still. I don't know how they did it, but it's the peppery and the smooth together. I mean, I would put it more on the full body end, which typically I don't go for a full-bodied cigar because they kind of like make me sick a little bit. But I can handle this one, so. I don't know. It's weird, but I really, really love it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, too. Sometimes if it's too heavy, all of a sudden I'm like, I need to sit down for a while. This is not so great.
Yeah, like you have to have like a full belly, or I don't know. You know when to stop.
Yeah. And real quick, over in Australia, we got Richard having his first Padron 2000. That is some good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely like that.
Nice.
And guys, if you are watching right now, you have any questions, just in general, they don't have to be anything crazy, but please go ahead and leave them in the comments for us. That'd be a huge help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I
noticed
also saw
that Katie Berry was on. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I know her and I love her to pieces. I'll be with her within the next week. And you guys mentioned Patron, and she'd probably kill me if I didn't mention Clase Azul, because that is by far the best tequila I have ever had, and it's thanks to her that I got into that tequila.
Yeah, you're talking my language right there. I love tequila, so I'm gonna have to try it out then. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's very, very good. I mean, it's hard to even call it a tequila because it's in its own class. I don't know. It's just the most amazing nectar of the gods drink. And I don't get paid to say that, so.
That's how you know it's good right there. Yeah.
Right.
All right. I know I'm taking all the questions, Reggie. I'm sorry, but I do got one more for you. I saw that you also said you did acting and modeling on there, and I'm a filmmaker. So when I saw that, like, that's awesome. Someone else who smokes cigars and kind of runs the same tracks I do. When did you get into that? Is that something you've always wanted to do?
as a kid, I'm like, oh, that would be a cool thing to do. I mean, I feel like every little girl kind of thinks that they want to be that actress and, you know, whatever. I lived in Utah for 4 years, and actually I'm one of those weight loss success stories. I've lost about 110 pounds, and around that time that I lost that weight, I was approached to be in a movie that they were filming in Utah, and from there it kind of led to other things, and they told me that I should get an agent because I was really good in front of the camera, and it kind of spun on from there. So I've had a few gigs from that, and yeah, so I was in one big movie, which I won't mention because I look terrible in it, but it does have Katherine Heigl in it. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, no worries. Now, is there any kind of movies that you like in particular? Do you go for horror or comedy or something different?
Always horror. Always horror. I feel like I'm broken sometimes because I'm like, why does this stuff not affect me? Like, I know if it was real life, it would, but I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like, why am I laughing at this one situation? Because the way that the guts like spill out of this person. I promise you I'm not broken. But yeah, so that's my number one. But I also love a good comedy. It's just like comedy's more second, horror's first. Especially like ghost stuff or alien stuff. Always a number one.
Oh, heck yeah.
Good stuff. James checking in from San Antonio. And Randy saying you never do know everything, and distinguished taste, very few can do distinguishing taste. Very few can do regularly. Yeah, you know, it's all just about developing your palate, your flavor wheel. I know quite a few people that just smoke cigars because they just like the ritual of smoking a cigar. You know, they don't get flavors. You know, they don't draw a lot of flavors out other than, you know, tobacco. Once in a while, they might get some coffee or they'll get that spice in a cigar.
Yeah.
So I understand where Randy is coming from.
That's so true because, you know, I've gone through so much in life that I've related, you know, like when you want to calm down or, you know, just have like a stress reliever, one of the things that calms us down naturally is to breathe slowly, you know, and with cigarettes, you do that. I don't want to get into smoking. I've always loved cigars. And so that's the ritual for me. Like the end of the day, Josh and I are like, let's go out in the sunroom and have a cigar. That's how we unwind. It's just one of those things every night. Like we just, you know,
okay, that was gonna be my question actually. Do you prefer, like you talked about, going to the lounges and all the great people you meet, going to a lounge, or do you prefer to be at home and smoking a cigar?
It's a good one.
Oh, that's a tough question. You know, during the week, I think I'd rather be at home only because it's kind of like work mode. I know I got to do stuff. Weekends, it's like, you know, let's go have fun. Let's go get away, you know, for the night and go meet some new people and have a good conversation. So it really depends. You know, it really, really does. Because I can get stuck in my house too. I'm like, oh, I want to get out and go meet people. So a lot of our stuff is working from home. So sometimes it's, you know, we find it like awesome that we can actually leave the house and go to a lounge and have a cigar. So
I like that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. So are there any lounges in your area though that you would recommend for us to check out? Because I'm still trying to get my bearings on everywhere out there. There's so many cool lounges, and I want to add more to my list.
You know what's crazy is Flint is still growing. I don't know if, you know, obviously a lot of people know about the Flint water crisis. And it's also a poverty-stricken city. And we live outside of Flint in a little town called Davison. And it's really starting to pick up, but we don't have the lounges up here. We have one, and it's fantastic. There's new ownership. They're doing great. They're doing amazing things with the place. I've noticed that the business is starting to pick up even before the new ownership came in. So that's a great lounge to go to. Other than that, we have about an hour drive in any direction before we can hit a cigar lounge. There's amazing ones down in Detroit. There's one outside of Detroit called Godfathers. We're actually going to be doing an event with them January 30th. That's going to be a Kick All the Ash event. everyone in that place is just phenomenal people. So nice. I mean, they treat you like family. So that's one of we always just go there just because we love the people that work there. So that's our number one. But it's so hard to say because every lounge has great people and great owners and great staff. So I feel bad even saying that because they're all great.
Yeah, it really feels like if it's not a good staff, you don't feel welcome, they're not going to last long.
Yeah.
So the ones you go to are the ones that, hey, these people are good people. You can go here and have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, because regardless, you have at least an hour smoke. So you're going to be sitting there for an hour. You better know how to be a people pleaser.
That's a good point. That's definitely a good point.
Yeah.
Matt is checking in on YouTube. He's having himself a Mi Querida Tricky Chaca, which is his newest release.
Nice.
Just got back from his trip to Phoenix, so he's back in Utah.
Nice.
And Matt missed it, so if you could go over again what it is that you and your husband do. But real quick, Brian says that writing down the flavor notes he noticed helps develop his palate. It gets easier for him to review cigars the more he writes down.
That's smart. It's a good one.
That is very smart. I actually have not done that. So you know what? Actually, someone brought that up the other day that they keep a little journal of all the flavors. I forgot who told us about that, but that is a very, very good idea. But to back up a little bit, my husband is Joshua Coburn. We both do motivational speaking. He's an author. And actually, I came prepared because I brought a copy of his book for you guys to see.
Nice.
I'm a good wife. I mean, I have to promote his stuff, right?
Like that.
But yeah, he writes multiple books. They're all on the motivational end, self-help, stuff like that. But we travel the world actually doing motivational speaking to corporations and schools. And then also on the other end, we do cigar functions and stuff as well. So.
Wait, you said you go to schools?
Yeah. Yep. The one in Missouri was actually a high school. So when we were just in Missouri a couple of days ago, that was for a high school. Yeah.
Do they let you smoke cigars?
No, that's where it gets hard to fund this stuff in. I don't think they're
You're like, kids, you're having a rough day. I know you have that test coming up. Have a cigar.
We would be such a bad influence. No.
I'm thinking they might not say, hey, come back next time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody,
Right.
Here's a super fly for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll work. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good speech right there.
I mean, that might have made me study more in school. I don't know.
So, where you're at with these new laws going into effect about, excuse me, the tobacco age going up to 21, for your area, do you see that being a problem? For us out here, I have to say, I really don't see a lot of 18 to 20-year-old smoking. Maybe once in a great while they'll come in to buy a gift, but not so much them smoking. I think, Mike, you're probably the youngest person that comes into our local lounge.
Yeah, I would say 20. I'm 27 now. I think there's one guy younger than me at 25. So yeah, that's a good question. Does the new laws affect you guys in your area?
So here's the deal. It frustrates me because you can have 18-year-olds that fight a war, that can be given a gun to take someone else's life if need be, but they can't have a cigar to calm the hell down after such a stressful day. I don't understand that. And everyone's entitled to their own opinions. And I'm actually going to talk about Iowa for a minute because Josh and I both have ties to Iowa. And there's a lounge that we go to all the time. It's called ICC. And there is someone in there who's an amazing guy. He's 18 years old. And I met him because of Josh and I going there. And the poor dude is now being told he can't have a cigar in the cigar lounge. And he's such a fanatic for cigars. And he's going places in his life. And he's finding out this phenomenal information from other people that choose to go to that lounge. And now he's being hindered. He can't grow as a person like he could because he can no longer go to this place. And that's what saddens me, and we have a 17-year-old that's about to turn 18. And Josh and I were like, yeah, we're going to take him to a cigar lounge when he turns 18. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be like a welcome to manhood and welcome to adulthood. And then that goes through and we're like, oh my gosh, no. So
what they should do is they should find a way to document the cigars any 18 to 20-year-old had purchased. And just like they do with the grandfathering blends, they grandfather in those cigars. So any cigar an 18 to 20-year-old bought already, they can smoke. Law. Done.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but it just makes no sense to me because there's other things where you could, like I said, I just always go back to the military, and I was a military wife for 8 years. You know, I just saw it firsthand, and I'm like, it's so hard for me to comprehend why you can do that, but then you're going to try to tell somebody that you can't have a cigar or you can't smoke or whatever else. I'm not saying that any of that stuff is good for you, but I think that if they're old enough to fight a war, they're old enough to make those decisions as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, if you can go off to war, if you can vote for the president, if you can vote in your local elections at 18, but you can't sit down and have a cigar, if you can't sit down and have a drink, to me, it's ridiculous.
Saying you're mature enough to vote for our next president, but you can't chill out and have a cigar. What even?
They will sit you in your school and hand you basically a loan for $100,000 to go to college when you're 17, but you can't make a day-to-day decision. But you should hang out the rest of your life at that same moment. It's just it seems hypocritical.
Yeah,
it does.
Matt asked a question. Do you guys have a podcast or a YouTube channel for your speeches?
We don't. We've been approached about that actually multiple times, so it is something we've talked about. We're just now getting on the TikTok train, so I mean,
nice. This guy over here.
Oh my gosh! Everyone's like, "Oh, get a TikTok," and I'm like, "No, this seems like it's for like not our generation." And then we got a TikTok, and just last week, Josh exploded on it. I mean, I'm saying like 130,000 views on a couple of his videos, and I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to TikTok that I wasn't seeing before. So we just got on the TikTok train. Maybe we'll get on the YouTube train soon.
Oh God, yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, it's really cool seeing all this new stuff pop up, and what's what I'm looking for, being able to kind of incorporate what we want to do with it. But some of the older pages like Facebook and even YouTube and Instagram are cracking down on tobacco products.
Yes.
We can no longer advertise for the show that we do. So it's really great. We have people like you on to help us out, better content and getting the word out there. So I really do appreciate you being on today. But has that seemed to affect you guys any too with that, being able to advertise properly?
So what a lot of people don't know is we actually help businesses grow in the ATF world. So alcohol, tobacco, firearms. So we actually are very knowledgeable on that. So especially with Josh, he's figured out the ins and outs on how to grow and get through those hoops and hurdles. So that's why he's able to thrive. He actually runs another IG that has over 300,000 followers, and he did that on his own. I mean, it took a number of years, but that's an industry that's restricted too. We won't get into like what it is, but it's in the ATF world, and I mean, he's exploded with it. He's doing phenomenal. So there is ways to do it. You just have to know the algorithms and all that stuff, the times and everything. And I think what's great about TikTok is they're not quite there. They're already restricting. You can't use certain hashtags. You can't do anything with tobacco, cigars, guns, anything like that. But they don't restrict the audience that sees the stuff that you're posting. So that's where all those views are coming from. Even though you can't hashtag certain things, it's still being broadcast to everybody. Where IG, you used to be able to hashtag, say, gym, and then anybody that goes on there, I don't know what that main page is on IG, but it shows like everything that's gym related. It's really cut down on that, and that's where I originally got all my followers was by hashtags, and you can't do that anymore on IG. So there's hurdles, but you can get through them. That is one thing that Josh actually helps in order to grow on the socials. So.
Yeah. But that's a really good point, though, too, you bring up, is knowing the algorithm and kind of sticking with it. I think that's one of the main things people tend to do. If they don't see traction right away, they kind of give up.
They give up,
those hurdles you speak of, those things you just got to move past.
Yeah, and, so many people talk about Insta famous, and everybody wants to be Insta famous, and what they don't realize is that is such an exhausting job. I mean, because that is my job and Josh's job. It's hard work. I mean, it's 24/7. It's no matter where we go, we're like, oh, is this something that we should use for content? And, how do we, everything is it takes time. You can no longer live because everything is, well, this is how we make our living. So now, instead of relaxing and doing this, it's, oh, I need to get content. This is a good thing that we can get content for. And it's a very exhausting it's a very exhausting world. And if you're in it, you're in it. And I think you become loyal to it because that's how you make your living. But people have to be aware that it's not an easy living at all. By any means. And sometimes we throw our phones in the river. But at the end of the day, we're still here. So
it's true. Yeah, no, it's a very difficult thing. Instagram has always been way more difficult for me. Facebook has been really helpful when we first started out getting our word out there because we were pretty much one of the only people doing a live show for cigars. And it seemed to have been a niche that we kind of fit really well. But as time has grown, we've had to kind of develop those algorithms, make sure we're taking care of people and just reaching out. If there is a best place to reach you then or to see your stuff, is it on Instagram?
Yeah, that's where my largest following is because unfortunately, unless you have a fan page on Facebook, you kind of get capped with the friends, and I'm about there. I try to constantly filter through my friends so that way I can still allow for new people to add me. But yes, definitely on Instagram, it's Cynn Coburn. I also have a TikTok, but that's fairly new, like I said, so it's just getting started with that. So, and I wanted to mention too with you guys, because I just heard the other day that most podcasts only last into the third episode. And then they stop based off, just exactly what you guys said. A lot of people just give up. They realize the work it takes to get it done. So you guys are doing great. You guys have already got your stuff going. You've humbled yourselves enough to know that you may need donations to keep this going. And I think you guys are doing great. So don't give up. If you have that hard work in you, then do it.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, actually, the first time we did this for an actual podcast, not live, I think it was 3 episodes. I think we fit exactly in that category where it's like, this isn't working. We'll figure it out later. And then we stopped for like half a year or something.
Yeah, a few months, yeah.
And then just got tired of being one of those people to push it off.
Yeah.
Do it now. It won't be the best right away, but we can make it better as we go. And actually, like the commenter right now, Matt, has been a huge help for us.
Yep.
People giving us input on how we're doing, if we're doing good at all.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that these kind of things almost feels like being in a lounge where we get to talk to you and get to know about you and stuff, and we get to know the viewers and people we would never know without.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be real, and it's hard to find your sweet spot because it can be saturated. You can say that it's saturated, but you're always going to have loyal followers. As long as you stay true to you, it's going to continue because I've had multiple people tell me that I need to start a YouTube channel for my makeup. And I'm like, there's so many of that out there. Like, I don't want to, I'm just going to be a one in a sea of however many. And the response I got from just saying that blew my mind. Everyone's like, it doesn't matter because you still have people that want to watch you do that. And that's how you grow, and things like, I'm like, I don't have the right lighting and, I'm getting older, I have wrinkles. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's exactly why I want to do this because I'm real. Because you're not going to see flawless skin. You're not going to see, perfect teeth. You're going to see me with wrinkles and, a 37-year-old woman. So.
Yeah, no, the real part of it is really important. I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
We went live here at our little lounge. That's where we're at right now. In Bakersfield at Culebras, and it was like 5 a.m. We just got done with work, really tired, and this guy, I don't know how did you do it? I'll let you tell because
where I burned my hand.
Yeah, you burnt yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was tired, not really paying attention, and I guess I touched the ash, the cherry, to my hand, and that woke me up. I'll tell you that much. But I also dropped my cigar.
So he throws his cigar live on camera.
Oh no.
I think people enjoyed it. So those little mistakes and stuff like that you can't edit out of live. I think it kind of helps.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of nice.
I agree. I mean, because I've done so many podcasts now, and they've all been pre-recorded. This is the first one I've actually done live, so I was really excited about it because it tends to be, it's not scripts. you don't know what you're going to talk about. And Josh and I try to do that anyway. We don't ever want to have like a guideline of what we're going to talk about because we do the best when it's just free flowing. So I there's no doubt it would be that way if we're live. So I was like excited for it. So I think it's great. You don't see live as much as you see the pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah, I kind of wanted this to be, off the cuff. If anyone has questions, they can ask us. And that's usually how we do it. That's just part of the deal. And it makes it easier on me. I don't have to think of as much to talk about, actually. They ask questions. It's like, all right.
Well, and also, they always talk about how, like, say you're a telemarketer, how they always say smile, even though they can only see you through, or they can only hear you through the phone. Because that is true. If you put a smile on your face, they can hear that smile through the phone. Well, when you do podcasts, same thing. If you can keep a smile on your face, they can hear the chipper in the voice. But what's great about this is you can see my face. You can see that I'm truly smiling and that I'm truly having a good time. But people don't do these live things anymore. So this is a nice treat to be able to do this. And, I was super excited about it. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that makes sense. Yeah, if you kind of put yourself in a position to feel good, people can hear that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep going because, what you guys are doing is rare. You just got to get through the hurdles and then you guys will be golden. I mean, you guys have a large following on Facebook anyway. I noticed that because to be honest, I didn't know who you guys were, but I jumped on your Facebook and I was like, okay, all right. They have a decent amount of following. So like you guys are doing good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're trying to get out of that comfort zone. I wanted to once I saw your page, like, all right, we got to talk to this person. We got to see what's going on. And I would love to have your husband on too sometime if that's cool.
Yeah, he's actually here. I can probably bring him out in a minute if you wanted.
Well, if he's good to say hi real quick, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, let me go grab him. Hang on 1 second.
All right.
But I do want to thank Matt. Thank you, Matt, for those kind words.
Yeah, sir. That's really we really do appreciate it. And if you guys do want to follow her, I have the link on the bottom in our little banner going across. It's Cynn Coburn, CYNNOBURN. Super simple, actually. So a lot of these links are like, even ours is kind of weird. Sometimes Baco Gent 661. When you start adding numbers, and it makes it more difficult for people. Yeah. But I was like, no, it works because that's where we're at.
Well, I wanted to do the Bakersfield Gentleman, but someone had already put it on there, and the Bakersfield Gentleman, I couldn't log into it. So, yeah.
All right, you see you?
There we go.
How
you doing?
How we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Thank you for taking a second to hop on with us.
Yeah, absolutely. You caught me at just the right time, so it all works out.
There we go. So, I haven't asked Cynn this yet, but do you have a favorite cigar out there? I want to make sure we get that one on there.
Yes. I love Plasencias. Like across the board, Plasencia just slays it for me. Anything I've ever picked up from them is great. The Alma del Fuego is like primo for me. But if I'm being honest, I don't discriminate too damn much.
And nothing wrong with that. They actually we were over at IPCPR last year, and they had this cool display where the Fuego was the box was encased in a fire.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't a real fire, but the rep kept tricking people into thinking he was lighting a cigar with it.
Nice.
You would see people's faces like, how is that box not burning right now?
Yeah.
He must have gotten like a dozen people. I loved it.
Yeah.
That's a stellar cigar. Stellar company, too.
She did show us the cover to your book.
Oh, yeah.
Is there you guys have a website where they can go order that, or is it off of the Instagram? How could they get a hold of a copy?
Yeah, they can hit up Instagram and get it from the link there, but joshuacoburn.com, you can find all that stuff. joshuacoburn.com/shop is the direct link to the book and my other books. But yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
If you don't mind, Matt, how many books do you have right now?
I have put out, let me think here. I put out like 4 books and a DVD, which I know nobody watches DVDs anymore, but I did that once too.
Nice. That's really cool. And then obviously the most important question, how do I get a beard as awesome as yours? What do I need to do in order to make this happen? Because this is nothing. I'm ashamed of this.
Beard Octane is our number one go-to, is what I wanted to say. Like, that is our number one beard care product line that we go to.
Yeah. I mean, with Beard Octane and other companies like that, because there's a lot of great places out there. It's any kind of good maintenance, good regimen. I mean, like, honestly, I can't help you grow it thicker. You're pretty small, so I can't see exactly how well you're growing or not growing. But honestly, just let it go. Like, let it go without a care. Condition it. Give it a good comb through every day. Oils help my skin, because a lot of people complain about that itchy. How it gets itchy in your first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, first couple months. Man, the beard oil takes the itch right out, and it keeps you hydrated. Like, all the little things are easy to overcome as long as you can be patient. So that's why everybody with beards like this become wizards, right?
Yeah.
It's because we're patient. We're gaining the wisdom of the world. It's coming to us through the patience of our beard, or some ridiculous shit like that. I don't know.
It makes sense. Yeah, I think so. I'm going with that.
Nice.
But we're coming towards the end of today, and I really do appreciate. I would love to have you on for a longer time if you ever have a chance.
Absolutely, yeah, we can definitely do that. Cynn, you better sneak in here real quick.
Yes, I am. I'm coming around.
Okay. So
Here you go.
So yeah, we'll definitely do that. I'll definitely jump on whenever there's a slot. Be happy to. I'm
Awesome.
stoked you guys had Cynn on with you today as well. That's awesome.
Nice. And thank you guys so much. Can you do me a favor? Just give them where they can find you one more time.
Yep. So for Instagram, it's Cynn, Cynn Coburn, Coburn. Facebook, it's just Cynn Coburn. And then TikTok, I don't know, because it's so new, I don't know what my name is. I think it's just Cynn Coburn on TikTok too, and his is Joshua.Coburn on TikTok, and then Joshua Coburn on everything else.
Just Google us, you'll find us.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
I just learned that the other day because our kids were Googling our names, and sure enough, I came up in the main description thing, and I was like, "Holy shit, they're actually talking about me on Google!" So that was
awesome.
a huge milestone for me,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Oh man.
Yeah.
And just thank you guys again, and we will hope to have you on very soon. And then we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. And blam.
All right.
Awesome.
So yeah, a big thank you to Cynn and her husband for joining us. But before we do go, because I know we're coming up to time, I did want to talk real quick about TPE. It's coming up. It's a week from, actually 2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
So TPE is coming up really quick. We got our pre-register info for it, so we will be there. We got our tickets already, and lots of great companies are going to be there. This is what it looks like on the inside. I'll show you guys. So tons of great stuff going on there. They're going to have a nice industry party. Lots of companies going to be there. So hopefully there's a few that are going to be releasing some stuff. Aganorcely, Alec Bradley, Espinoza, Fertella Illusion, Jasmine Crawl, Room 101, Villiger, Maya Silva, Nova. So we're going to hopefully get some interviews with all these people, excuse me, as well as see what they have to release this year. David, we're doing well. How are you doing? Peter, thank you so much from Toronto, Canada. Awesome.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
So, yeah, we're going to do our best to get as much good footage as we can. We'll go live when we can. We're going to do a lot of recorded stuff out there, take a bunch of pictures as well, and really network and see what we can get done. So, really looking forward to this trip. If you guys are going to be at TP, let us know. We can meet up for a drink and a cigar. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be my first time attending TPE. Mike, it'll be your first time attending as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a good time as we do over at IPCPR PCA and make it just a really, really fun few days while we're out there in Vegas. Lucas, how you doing?
And I am, dang it, guys, I'm so sorry. Because it's TPE time, but I was looking for the article that we were talking about earlier on Drew Estate, and they were giving the reasons why, publicly, the reasons why they were not going to attend this year at PCA. And I could not find that. So Frankie, stall for me.
Yeah, I looked for it myself. I could not find it. I know that Halfwheel had an article listing reasons why all four of the big companies said that they would not be going. So they give some really valid points. They weren't getting enough return on investment. Um, their opinions and their suggestions were being ignored. Rising cost of the show itself. Um, just a bunch of different reasons why they wouldn't be attending, and you can't fault them for that. They have to do what's best for their business, and we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh, it should be on the Drew Diplomat page. Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
So, you guys can always let us know what your thoughts are on this about the big four. That is Altadis USA, General Cigar Company, Davidoff, and Drew Estates not being at PCA this year. It's going to be a huge loss for PCA. Obviously, that's 20%, 1/5 of their showroom floor gone. So we'll see how it evens itself out this year when we get out there. But really, I'm just focused on right now TPE. It looks like it's going to be a great time. They have a bunch of stuff going on. Can't wait to meet all these people that I haven't met yet. They have some really great stuff going on with as far as the speakers. Carl Malone is going to be the keynote speaker. And just a bunch of other great topics and discussions that they're going to have at this expo. So, again, looking forward to that. We'll be out there.
Yeah.
We'll be leaving early Wednesday morning. If not, we'll leave Tuesday night and get out to Vegas. And
Absolutely, yeah.
just get ready for the show.
Yeah, one of my goals this time is not just to cover individual booths, but to get to some of the talks. And I believe I can record them, so we'll just put them in their entirety up for you guys. I would really like to get that Carl Malone keynote and a couple of the other ones. There's at least one a day I would like to record. So at the very least, you'll have 3 of them for the 3 days that we're there.
Yeah.
Plus, hopefully, anything else we can cover. Whatever kind of content you guys want to see, too, let us know. If there's anything that we might be missing, just put it in the comments below. I'm really excited that they showed so many companies that are doing new releases.
Yes.
That was really nice to know ahead of time.
Yes.
Right in the flyer like that. And I bet you the companies themselves appreciate that too, because they want to hype it up. They want to hype up the new stuff coming out. They want to make sure, quote unquote, media like us knows about it so we can ask the questions to get the word out. And they want you guys to know. They want you guys to know what's coming out. And then real quick, Lucas, honestly, I think the whole 4 top dogs not attending is a shot at the industry and not the feds. These companies have the working gears of the company padded for these events. They should be there and stand together, not bow out when they'll be needed most. That's kind of a good point. Show a united front.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Again, these people put a lot of money into these events. They sponsor the parties, they sponsor the media, the advertisement. They put up a lot of money, and I think from their point of view, if their views and opinions aren't shown that they matter, then they feel slighted. And I think, that's another big reason why they were leaving. So, yeah, I agree. It's against the industry, in particular PCA most. So,
yeah. And honestly, there's an old saying, the greasy wheel gets the oil. And then there's another one that goes along with it. Sometimes the greasy wheel does get the oil. Sometimes it gets replaced.
means a squeaky wheel?
Squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. And sometimes squeaky wheel just gets replaced.
Yeah.
And it feels like in this case, the wheel replaced themselves.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, I mean, definitely you have to stick together. It makes things a lot easier. But if you feel, I think you're right on that. If you feel like your needs are not being met, especially when you've been a supporter for so long, put in so much money.
Yeah.
It's a situation that I can't fully understand because there's so much a larger scale happening.
Right.
So I kind of agree with why they would do, but at the same time, I would have loved to see them still there.
Yeah. I don't think we will be attending the Big Smoke this year. Although I hear it's a fun event, our focus is more on TPE and PCA as far as some of our bigger stuff. We do want to attend the East Coast Cigar Club's event later on in the year, the fall.
Yeah.
As well as our own event in March, which is going to be in Vegas. We'll have more details on that once we get a hold of JJ. JJ's been going through some personal stuff. He lost a really close personal friend, and he's actually over in the East Coast, I believe, right now, dealing with that. So that's why details have been a little bit delayed, guys. So we do apologize for that. But with that being said, the Big Smoke. Although I hear it's a lot of fun, it's just not really a focus for us at this time.
Yeah, no, maybe in the coming years.
Yeah.
But right now, yeah, definitely want to make sure we cover the large trade shows. Definitely want to go show our sport out to East Coast Cigar Club. And we want to make sure Vegas is still the best we can make it. If we can do our best to be on the East Coast a couple of times this year, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
But since it's not a set date like Big Smoke is, we can kind of plan it whenever we're available.
Right.
And we'll definitely let you guys know ahead of time.
We still have our Dallas trip in May.
Still have Dallas. Cannot forget that. I love going over to Texas Frightmare. I love the lounges out there. I like the food. And I can still eat any steak I want, so I'm cool with that. Boyolno Braza is going to lose some money when we go back, so I apologize when I eat all your steaks.
Well, that being said, guys, that is going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Real quick before we take off, though, please go to the Bakersfield Gentleman page on Facebook and look up the donation drive we have going for Standard Middle School. We're trying to raise $200 to donate to them. So if you guys can donate anything, please do so. Again, if we could just get 10 people to donate $20 or 20 people to donate $5 or whatever, we'll make our goals. So
absolutely.
Please help out, you guys. Miguel and I will match the first $100 donated. So please help us get to our goal. These kids are deserving of a good time, and we want to help them make that happen. So you can find the link to the donation site on the Bakersfield Gentleman page. Should be pinned to the top, right?
Yes.
So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Have a good one, guys.